What up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
It's good.
Back at it again. Back at it again. What's up, y'all? How's everyone doing this fine Tuesday evening? I know this is sort of like impromptu, but nonetheless, that's how we do. If you guys are just joining the stream, you already know. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Got my man. Hold up, real quick. Let me get the proper. There we go. Got my man Darren in the building. Oh, no, not that. Not that.
God, oh my God, Eddie.
AKA D Nice. Hold up, man. Bro, let me
Don DeMarco.
What's up? What's up, man? We was just already going at it in the back chat. Like, damn, man.
Yeah.
That's what I see. Okay. I'm gonna let you just go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Tell the folks about what you're doing and all that. And then as people come in, I'll do my little housekeeping.
No problem. My name is Darren Morgan. I'm from Ypsilanti, Michigan. I'm a licensed barber and a cosmetologist, ambassador, teacher, and a father. So I wear a ton of hats. Right now, I run a barbershop on Syracuse University called Royal Allure, the barbershop in Syracuse by far. I also own 3 different hair products and grooming products that I'm going to be launching to the public, aka when I mean the public, I mean Target and Walmart by the end of the year.
Wow. Okay.
Lots of stuff.
Dang, man, you out there grinding. Oh, hold on. I apologize, folks. My sound effects, my sound bites are everywhere tonight. Okay. Listen, y'all know those are not mine. All right, so those are not coming from me. But so hey, real quick, man, Darren, I always known you to be a barber. I don't think I've ever had my hair cut by you, but when did it actually become like this is something you when did you make the decision ultimately to make it become like a career path? When did that start? That's what I'm interested in hearing about.
Honestly, I think it was when I went to prison, my 11th grade year in high school.
Whoa, wait a second. wait, what?
Yeah, I spent a little time behind bars for some stuff that I did when I was a teenager. We'll get into like the origin about it later on. I was behind bars and I seen a lot of people that kept on, that recognized my face for 2 things. It was either sports or cutting hair. And they kept on telling me that I shouldn't be here and all this other craziness. I put down the street life for like 5 seconds and went back to school and make sure everything was copacetic. And I just kind of always circled back around to cutting hair. It started when I was 12. And then I just kept circling back around. And, I got out of prison. I graduated from high school. I moved to Panama City, Florida. That's when it clicked. I started cutting a couple people. Yeah, I didn't know these guys. So when they tell you that you have a good haircut or you're skilled, then you start listening.
Okay.
And a little bit of math. That's all.
Okay. So subsequent to graduating, you just immediately went out to, you said Panama, Florida?
Panama City, Florida, yep.
Panama City, Florida. Okay, what was like? Why was that the destination?
Again, I was in a lot of like unorthodox stuff as a kid, and I got into some stuff. It was the last straw for my
change of environment, sort of.
Yeah, so my mom was like, "You got to go." It was like she was like, "You got out of this one again. You got to go with your brother." And it was just a change of scenery. It was hard because I'm really Ypsilanti prone, and I love my my town and stuff, but it was just a bad situation for me at first. I couldn't cope. I wasn't cutting my own hair. I wasn't cutting my brother's hair. It was because I was like homesick. But I moved there, and I kind of started adapting to different type of lifestyles and different type of people. So being a people's person actually creates a good barber, because being a people person, you can talk to anybody, and having that connection can help you just go far in the game. I learned different lingos and different styles and different ways that people, started haircuts and started consultations, and it just kind of like went from there. And from there, I moved to New York.
Got you. Got you. Okay, so being out in Panama City, Florida, was it and I hear what you're saying. You pretty much got out there, started to mingle, interact with folks. That was like the sort of the grassroots of where you pretty much your barbership. Well, I'm probably saying that wrong, but
I get you.
that's where that kind of like really kicked off for you.
Yes, I would think
Okay.
because it's you can play duck duck goose all day long. Like I can sit in Ipsy and just cut everybody's friends and family members and people that
Right.
I know and just continue to do that. But not knowing what's coming through your door and being able to execute every time is the key. And I didn't know a lot of people in Florida besides the military family that my brother had. So
Why is being a barber? It's almost like a prerequisite to have people skills. Like, why is that important?
we with you for at least 20 minutes. And that's me being a speed cutter. I mean, speed cutter. I apologize. We're with you for 20 minutes. If you're an average person, it's going to be between 35 to 45 minutes. You have your ear. We're more than 3 feet close to you. We're touching you. You know, there's a sense of security there and a sense of like relaxation. So, you know, being this type of way, you have to, you know, be able to know when to stop and when to go, if that makes sense. Because if you're not socially inclined with certain stuff, you're just gonna make, you know, unnecessary mistakes. Certain type of music, certain type of clothes, you know, greetings, words, glow, sharp, crisp. These things, you know, will help somebody feel comfortable. As in, if you know they pay for their consultation and stuff up front for a barber or hairstylist, we feel comfortable because we know they coming at this point. They're not going to skip if they pay the consultation fee. So I think it's very important to be a people's person in type of this business because you're not only just dealing with grown-ups. You know, you live multiple lifetimes. You start cutting a kid at, you know, 7, 8 years old. Next thing you know, he's 16.
Right.
You
Right.
know, you
Right.
see people pass away. You see people, you know, kids have kids. So you see a lot. If you're not a
Damn.
people's person, you don't know how to connect or for that matter, just you a bad vibe.
So,
Not a good, you know.
do you find that being socially inclined people are more or less comfortable being having more candid, open discussions with you about things that they probably otherwise wouldn't disclose with anyone else? And I'm not saying nothing crazy, but do you find that people are more comfortable being open and candid with you and frank about whatever's going on in their life, or what have you?
Yes, I think barbers and hairstylists are trust way more than therapists themselves because the things that they come out of their mouth and you know the feeling that they have and what's going on with them at the time, that's big. And be able to tell somebody and they just like, oh man, that's messed up, and just support your feelings at that time, and then on top of that, give you something that's gonna make you feel better. That's gold. So
Gotcha.
I agree. Like talking to people that's socially inclined just it's good practice for a hairstylist before the public. It's another piece of relaxation. Like these people can come to us and be like, yo, I just got dumped by my girl. You might not want to even tell your homies that, but being that I'm your barber, you know it ain't going nowhere. You know I'm not going to be like socializing and telling your business. And you will probably, you know, respect that or like it.
Right.
I don't know.
I got
I
you.
think
I
they
got you.
talk to me. They talk to me because of the just the relaxation and security.
Okay. Okay. So damn, excuse me. I wanted to ask you also. So you said you're a father. How many kids do you have?
3. I said I was reading something.
Three?
I was reading the comments. Sorry about that. I have
No,
3
you said
kids, two girls and 1 boy.
ooh, 2 girls. How old is your oldest?
13.
Oh man, you
And my
just
second oldest is 10 and my youngest is 8.
Guess how old my oldest daughter is. Guess.
I think I can 16.
Damn, close. She should be 18 this year. She's 17. I know, man. I know. Brothers is old these days. I know,
Yes.
man.
Oh my Lord.
I can just think back to So I feel like yesterday when I was just turning 18, fresh out, man, and now my daughter is just she about tall as me too.
You're not tall though.
Well, 5'9",
Not tall. She's like had you ever since she was 15. What are you doing?
Hey man, hold on. You divulging way too much information, right? Yeah, I know, right? Okay. So
I'll stop with the gunshots and stuff.
Let me ask you this though. What's like I said in the back chat, me and you we ain't talking to each other in a hot second. What is important to you today?
God number 1, family number 2, loyalty number 3, respect number 4, consistency, which should be in the top 3, but it's number 5.
Okay. Do you weigh these metrics against like people you deal with, or not only against yourself, but do you measure that criteria for people you're interacting with or have involved in your life?
Once you start moving towards your goal and you start trying to build different types of revenue, and you want your kids to be better than you, you go through stuff, you start to think in a different type of pattern. God has helped me through a lot. I was in a gang at a point. I had a lot of stuff.
Really? Oh my God.
I can't. Let me finish my point.
Jesus.
So
damn.
That, my grandparents, my grandmother is passing away. It was just so much. And he helped me get up every day. I work like 16 hours a day, nothing less. You know what I mean? And it's just me praying to him, and then me not praying and stuff, and me seeing a difference is what makes me put him first, because I'm like, yeah, it's OD. Because if I don't pray, I get to drinking Patron in the middle of the day. It's like 3:30. You know what I'm saying? Everybody like, let's go over here. I'm making bad choices.
Okay.
My family is all I got. My kids are solid. Both of them are in college prep classes. One of them is in 6th grade. The other one's in the 8th. My son plays basketball. My oldest daughter plays soccer, and she wants to play softball this year. So like, bro, nobody snuck into my house yet. And you know what I'm talking about. Like, I haven't caught a dude on my porch, and you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I ain't had to hurt anybody yet, because they're so focused on
real talk.
So focused on doing the right thing. You know what I mean? My son is like the total opposite of me, but way better. Like, he's kind, smart, real smart. He catches on to stuff really fast.
Yeah, because I don't recall knowing you for those things at all. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so he's.
Oh, we gonna go to war with these soundbars. I don't care. Hey, we gonna go to war. We gonna
go to war. I ain't gonna load enough. I'm feel like if I start typing and loading them up, it's gonna be bad. Yeah, my kids, they are everything. And then you've met my older brother before.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what's his name?
Kind of looks just like me.
Yes. Our military vet, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That dude, he's still, Batman. He still do what he do. He's still my rock or whatever the case is. And he stays out here in New York with me. He's big in my life or whatever. And my kids and my mother. And, I have a big family that I depend on, but it's really small. So it'd be like my immediates, then it'll be Alicia and her brothers and everybody, because they come right after my household. From Kool-Aid to food, they've always been there for me. And they supported me when, everything went down when I was in high school and stuff. They always had my back.
Right. You still, okay, so you still in touch with, Justin, Isaiah, all them. Oh, okay, that's dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
you know what I'm saying? I'm way better than Justin at cutting hair. I hope he sees this.
Oh, that's disrespectful on every level. Woo! I'm gonna edit that part right there and send it to him because he was just trying to hate on me the other week. Okay, so I want to segue a little bit.
Yeah.
So are are you married first and foremost, and what do you think about marriage?
I was married for 10 years.
Damn.
Yeah. I got married fresh out of college. Well, yeah, I got married fresh out of college, and after that, in the midst of of her last year, we had my daughter. Does that make sense? Like she was about 23. We had Natalia, and then after that, Aaliyah
Wait a
came.
second. You said you was married fresh out of college, right? Or out of high school? High school?
College.
How old were you when you graduated from college?
26. I
Big
couldn't go
dummy.
for it.
All right,
I
go
couldn't
ahead.
go for a hot second. No. I couldn't go for a hot second. They had me on the, no fly list. So
Okay,
once I
okay.
did clear it around the time where I turned like 21, that's when I started. Around the time when I got to New York, 2021 is when I started. Not 2021, but 20 years old to 21 is when I became a freshman. So, which is obviously 3 years after all. You got you smart people with waves and fake beards and.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so damn man, 26 years old. Whew. Now I know you did a lot. No, but I know prior to that, you got some had some experience under your belt. So to some degree, you knew what you were getting yourself into. But
Yes,
why marriage and what's your view of it now?
Listen, I came from like a broken home, and in Michigan, after 20 plus years, you're like legally married, right? So my parents was just like, like that for that long, and they never jumped the broom. So I'm like, I don't want to be like that. Then I separated myself from Ipsy in Michigan, and I just tried to start a whole new life, or whatever the case is. I blocked everybody that I used to deal with, so I was just kind of like trying to live it on my own terms. When I first got into it, I thought it was the best thing in the world. Once I read the paper and I seen all it was a business agreement, I tell people all the time, like, you can get married right now. I can marry you right now if you want to. Like, we can go behind this tree, you got a ring type shit, and we can do this. I wouldn't encourage, you to get married and put yourself in that position if you're not ready, because this is a new wave of security in a negative way. I want you to know that. Does that make sense? So there are women that's preying on guys that's 6 figures, 8-figure, gentlemen, and marrying them and getting pregnant and stuff just for the security of them knowing that if this goes wrong, I get half whatever this man is worth.
I ain't finna let no man tell me what I can do and what I cannot do.
My bad. That's slip, man. That's my Tourette's. My bad. Go ahead. That's just
they press that very much, and as you can see, marriage and loyalty and all of that stuff has become more of a fugazi and a fairy tale than it has been a trophy. Nobody wants to say. Our grandparents and stuff, we talking 40, 30 some years and stuff like that. Everybody else is not even basically making it over 10.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this
I
is
I just read an article not too long ago. The average black marriage today is 5 years.
That sucks, man. Because I think that it's a beautiful thing. I think that hundreds of Africans get married without a piece of paper all the time. So we don't really need that piece of paper, but it does, help you out in the tax bracket area. It does, help you out, on paper.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, so essentially you're saying that marriage in itself, the institution, is it's a beautiful union to have with a woman, yet you should not involve the state.
Yeah, you don't need the state. You don't need the state. You don't need this date. You don't need a piece of paper. You need a beautiful piece of land, your favorite preacher or your pastor at your church, all of your homies, all your homegirls, your mom, your dad, barbecue, chicken, pit bulls, Willa Ron's drum line.
I don't know about Willow Run. Went to Pioneer, so you know what I'm saying. That's how we do.
All these things is what's going to make you happy and make everybody have a great time. You know, most country, and I, calling them, we're talking about it, but most country white people have their marriages in their backyard.
Oh yeah, them country bumpkins.
But this is the thing. If I got 19 acres of land and it looks amazing looking at from my back porch, why would I not share that with my friends and family? Why do I have to go rent out a hall and do all of this stuff? Go to, a hotel and have them do like some type of party and we can just throw a big banger in my backyard where ain't nobody gonna mess with us, no police. Y'all can pass out in the yard. We all know each other. It's all love. Without that piece of paper and all of that business and stuff, that's what you get. All love. When I tell you what, I my professor had us doing this project one time, and he said, "Yo, I want you to find a girl in the room." He said, "I already did the numbers. We all even. Let somebody skipping." He said, "Find a girl in the room. You guys gonna get to know each other for the next 5 days. After that, I want you to ask her to marry you."
Interesting.
Right? Now, whether she says yes or no or whatever the case is, the key to this is telling her what's beneficial on the business side. Right? He said, well, what you got to make sure that you tell her after you tell her that part is that you want a prenuptial agreement. This is a man's world. I said, what's the point of this whole thing? He said the reaction. So 80% of the girls that came in and they had the interview with the teacher and the professor was like livid because he asked them for a prenup. Because the prenup that cuts off the security, if that makes sense.
Right. Absolutely.
That cuts the security off. Now, if you really love me through thick and thin, codes and all of that, you can be able to show me this, because when you leave me, you're going to leave with exactly what you came with. And if you came with $82, you leaving with maybe $182 unless you got a job. So the prenups is really something that scares people away because it nips all of that in the bud.
Now, what you're saying right now, is all of this predicated off of your experience in the marriage that you had, or is this something like, is this like preconceived ideas that you've already had?
Okay, I had to learn after my divorce, I had to learn how to cope, because I'm like, yo, I felt like a failure. I felt like a failure because of, I'm like, I got 3 kids by this woman. I failed my family and all this other crazy stuff. And I'm like, I gotta figure something out. Beta male.
My bad. I know you was having a moment. My bad.
You know that you get on my nerves.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna do it no more. Go ahead.
Figure it out. So when I did do that, I talked to a couple people and I started going to these men's meetings and stuff like that, and they was telling me like how to cope, and if you do decide to get married again, this is what you should be looking for. Right. And I used to look back at my relationship, and my relationship was just like all over the place. It was all about work, but I didn't know the fundamentals to make everything last. Was all. So, and then on the outside looking in, you learn about the small stuff about marriage, which is like pretty much the contract. The contract is big but small. It's a 1-page situation. It's nothing real, right? Yep. But getting up out that boy is a motherfucker. Getting up out that motherfucker is a bitch. I'm talking 3-4 years. Like it can be like that.
Wait. Are you saying that's how long the litigation was of the divorce? Wow. Did you have an attorney? I mean, did you guys have
I didn't say
lawyers?
it was mine, but it could take up to 3 to 4 years.
Oh my. Oh, okay. Yeah. Real talk. That's
That
true.
was a
That's
good one. That
absolutely
was a
true.
Vlad situation. You just
That
bought.
is.
That's okay. You
My
know.
bad.
You big dummy.
Uh, after that, I learned more about the contract. I started studying it. I looked at other people's relationships, compared them to mine. Looked at celebrities, compared them to mine. Looked at the statistics, compared them, and I said, "This is just not good."
Mm.
Sorry. I said, "This is not good. This is not good at all." I wanted my kids to see what a true household looks like. So
Right.
that's the goal, is to stay in a 2-family household, because that's how you want your kids to be, in a respectable relationship and something that they're going to cherish. I still
Right.
fuck with their mom. Their mom cool, but it's just wasn't our time.
Looking back, is it anything that? And I know you mentioned work. But is there anything aside from working too much or taking your eye off the ball that you think you could have did differently or done
Yeah,
better?
my ego. I'm a whole Ipsy nigga. Just, I don't even want to say it like that, but I was. That's how I was. I came out here cocky. Fresh meat.
But typically, women are attracted to that, to those masculine traits.
Only to a certain extent. If a girl is going to mature into a woman, she's going to hate you after a while. Sagging, not taking out the trash, not cleaning up after yourself is going to get on her nerves. It's not going to be an attraction. By the way, once you do have kids, you start putting on daddy weight. So that dad bod is going to be
Man, you ain't
one of
lying.
those things. Like,
You ain't
if you
lying.
want them to keep themselves up, you definitely want to keep yourself up. So
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Man, I'm still trying to shake it off myself. But yeah, no, that's honest. That's real talk. So but generally speaking though, given the current dating landscape and where we seeing the declining marriage rates, and for those of you guys in the chat, y'all already know I talk about this ad nauseum. So, but I'm interested in hearing your take. But given the current the dating landscape and the declining marriage rates, declining birth rates, the rise of single motherhood and all that, would you advise that men even pursue? Well, would you advise that marriage is still the pathway for our society today?
me?
Yeah, would you advise, let's say, a friend, a brother, a relative, anyone, hey, you should probably think about getting married because that's going to provide you some form of purpose. Does marriage still carry that connotative purpose that it once held?
No.
You say no?
No, and if it does, it's very, very, very low. Very low. No,
Please.
not at all.
Why not?
Look. Just look. Look at the statistics and look at the percentage. And then go back to just like, you don't have to go back to when you had your grandma now.
Mm-hmm.
Just go back to like when your mom was like 16 or something like that, or 18 or something. The percentage was up, and it was different type of women. It was different type of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Tap the number shown on the other device. What? Oh, 5. My bad. I'm trying to join the chat. Google got me going, doing all of this other extra stuff.
You trying to join this? Oh, you trying to join the chat up in here?
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I'm like,
you got my no. Do you got my Do you have the channel? I can send that to you.
I think so. Oh, you know what? What am I doing?
Yeah, right, you using the damn thing.
All right.
check them out, y'all. Check them out, y'all. Check them out.
Yeah. What was I saying?
We're talking about your overall
view on like marriage and stuff?
Marriage. Would that be something you would
advise?
No
more. Loyalty not there no more. And then everything is being tampered with. I'm not gonna go into the sexing thing and the transgender thing and all of that. Everything is being tampered with. And what I mean by that is we have so many different corners of people screaming that we have to respect something that we don't even know what to respect at this point. because respecting something might disrespect something else. Women were different. Let's start there. You know, and I don't want to go into them saying like, oh, you know, they were stupid and all of this other crazy stuff, but no, they just, you know, there's a little bit more down to earth or whatever the case is. I think now the independent thing is, you know, washed over into the thought world. Now, when we talking about a college or a woman that's really taking care of her own business and doing all of that, I don't think that same independence goes to like the, you know, sexy red type situation that's going on right now, you know, and respect, you know what I mean? There's no respect. I would, you know, guys should respect a girl just like a girl should have to respect a guy, right? But our respect and what we think respect is clashing. So if I be like, yo, you can't wear those pants, that's a problem because I'm doing something to the point where I'm like diminishing her character by telling her she can't wear that out or whatever the case is because it's revealing too much. It has nothing to do with my, you know, my balls or how I feel or, you know, my mentality or nothing like that. It's just, yo, I already know what time it is. I'm a man. So if we're going to be walking around and we're going to be in a public place like this, just come out, you know, it's a time and place for everything. We can't say that no more. And just like women can't say, can't call a dude a bum. You can't call him a bum without him having some type of tragedy or some type of reason for why he's a bum. So it's like that kind of situation with the guy with the snakes and the lions. He said, if you see 12 lions running at you and it's only one lion that's a really good lion or whatever,
you can't
are you gonna let the lions come in the thing, or are you just going to wait for that one good one?
Yeah,
you're going to shut the door because you don't know.
Because they're standing too close to
standing so close to each other.
Yeah,
and I believe it's still women that want to be wives, that want to be stay-at-home wives and mothers, that love their feminine ways. They still enjoy a man cuddling them that's twice their size, and you know, I don't know, cooking and getting up every morning and helping their kids get off to school and stuff, and just, you know, watching soap opera. I believe those women still exist. I also believe that, you know, it's going to be hard for them the more we progress in the future, because the guys is not trying to go back to no type of like gentleman type of way, or they don't care about their appearance and stuff. It's so many people. I cut hair. I offered like awesome services, and I always try to get these guys to do something different, something more clean, but they're like, nah, it's a lazy like way for men these days. And on both ends, we just kind of like fucked because nobody wants to actually put in the work that we need to put in. So with that, everybody, what happens if you and your brothers is sitting at the crib throwing hot Cheetos, shit on the floor, leaving y'all shoes in the middle of the floor, not doing the dishes and stuff like that? The shit is just gonna pile up and it's just gonna get mad dirty, right? Yeah. Because nobody cares. So until that one person kicks over, like, you know what, I'm gonna do the kitchen, you do this, you do that, that's when, you know, everything start rolling. But relationships and marriages and stuff, bro, it's clip for that.
I got 2 baby dads.
So let me ask you this then, real quick. I have to ask you. This is like this is like my odometer.
Oh boy.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Are men and women equal?
When you say are men and women equal, what are you referring to? Strengths, rights,
in every capacity.
You know what? I'm just going to tell you the God honest truth. No. And it's no on so many different like levels. It's no.
Y'all heard that. Y'all heard that.
Now, I'm saying this on both sides of the fence, guys. You guys don't get. Let's start with the women and what they don't receive because they're women. They don't receive the same publicity we get. They don't get the same jobs that we get. They don't get the same pay that we get because they're a woman. They've been fighting for this for eons. That is the God honest truth. Let's keep going. Strength. as much as we scream it out all the time, now that we've done this whole equal fight club thing where girls are going against guys, it's bad out here. We have our four exceptionals, those girls that are really skilled that came from like Thailand, and then the other Caucasian girl. That's 4 girls in the last 7 years. That's one tournament that was filled with the majority of boys. Well, all I'm saying is this. We are not the same, but we are all human, so technically we are. On that, we both bleed, we both cry, we both do all of this other stuff. But to sit here and think that there's any type of equalness to us as male or female, don't lie to yourself.
Okay, so let me ask you this then, follow up. So in a traditional household setting, there is a form of hierarchy where the man is the head, the woman is the neck, and so on and so forth. The man is over the woman is over the children. In that traditional setting. Given in our current state of affairs where we are today, do you think there ever will be a return back to those traditional standards? Or are we diverting into something that we're not? I don't know. Are we gonna go somewhere as far as what feminism has done, which is convince women that they don't need a man, they're independent, they don't need marriage, and so on and so forth. And now they're suffering from a form of buyer's remorse. Is it gonna be that same sort of paradox that happened if we do not return back to traditional values? Is it something that we're gonna morph into that's gonna be to our ultimate? It's gonna be to our detriment?
I think that the United States has always been a mixing pot, right? I think it's so many people pouring in here, and so many people from different countries, and so many different type of personalities and people that's growing up, that it's going to rub off. It's going to rub off on the right people, and it's going to rub off at the right time. Also, we're becoming a more non-social society. This whole texting and being at home and doing what we're doing right now, or whatever the case is going to grow. So with that said, the people who appreciate life, they're going to teach their kids and their loved ones how to love and how to, put forth the effort for somebody that you cherish. So I think it would rub off, but it's not going to be in the next 10 years. No. So we got another decade of chaos before we even get to that. And that's only because we are inside of like this abyss of, this is how we want to live. Fast and die young. I still, don't get me wrong, I'm still turned just like the next person. I love a party just like the next man. But I'm not blind to what's going on. It's a whole bunch of destruction going on type shit. Like it's going to start with the parents, it's going to start with relationships, and it's going to start with like hands-on training. It's not going to be overnight. I think for the people who still willing to love, you buying houses and boats now. So the next thing you know, it's going to be properties and stuff. So once you get that stuff and people close their self all in, it's just going to be their own entity. So only way that's going to help the society is once these little people always surrounded and over here and over there get together, and their kids somehow meet at a college or trade school or something like that, they can give the same love that they've learned to other people. So it is how it's going to grow, but that's a small equation. Don't press that button, bro.
Bet. Like the video, guys. Like the video. All right, let me. So then, okay, I hear what you're saying. So essentially, the people who are migrating to this country, they're transmuting their values, and they're essentially acculturating to our society, and those who are around or are in proximity to these folks, they're gonna inherently pick up some of those values, assimilate some of those customs into their own family lives. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
Yes, because just think about it. Like from the GI Bill all the way up to present, as soon as they made these small changes and these small things, they grew to fucking chaos. just think about it. If you got this line and this guy over here that's Caucasian, he gets a house, land, and he gets to go to school after the military. You just get an apartment and get to go to school.
So this is interesting. This is interesting that you say this, because when I remember distinctly when in my Roman civilization course I took in college, and it was a totally secular class. It was nothing. Well, we talked about religion and things like that, different philosophical purviews. But one of the things they talked about per se to our conversation, it was the fall of Rome. And what we see is almost parallel to what we see happening right now as far as the immigration thing that's happening. There were folks from other foreign nations migrating into Rome, and they didn't have the same affinity as the natives. So when they would join into the war, they didn't have that that integrity that someone native born would have fighting for their country. So I hear what you're saying as far as the traditional values being imported to the country. However, do you think it's going to lead more so to like a fragmentation of just people in general, because we have all these different cultural enclaves everywhere, and there's no real there's no what's the word, I guess, unity, no semblance of oneness in our country. And let me just follow one other last thing. I say that because there once were symbols of unity, such as like the flag or the anthem,
the Marcus Garvey's, and
all those things. So I know that was kind of a convoluted question, but do you see that parallel that I described as far as like the fall of Rome, letting all of these foreign travelers come into their home essentially and turn it into whatever they brought with them?
All right, look, Rome is Rome. The United States, listen to me close. Hell no.
Oh my gosh. Okay, please expound.
It's just like an invasion. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna have to take if they take anything from this country, it's gonna have to be with some type of bomb. It's gonna have to be with a bomb. We all are too strapped up. We all are too set in our ways. We love our country too much for anybody to change something from a Mexico or a UK or anybody that's pouring into this place. They have to learn our ways. And if they don't learn their ways, you know, we still have to learn certain ways in different type of states because we ain't never been there. But it's going to be extremely hard to change us. And I would say it would take probably a whole nother like some 400 some years. It's going to take a long time because that's got to be some strong influence and a lot of just everything. I think it will mess up our jobs though. It's gonna mess up our jobs, but I don't think it's gonna mess up our way of life and the way we hold ourselves and just image and all of that. Nah.
Okay.
Because you know, Texas is big. New York. I'm gonna use these two places, New York and Texas. You cannot deny their lifestyles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if I was from, let's use Mexico, and I'm trying to take over. But I'm trying to take over and I'm trying to change stuff. I'm trying to throw Spanish this on this, Spanish stuff on that. This person needs to be in power because they Spanish and stuff like that. We've seen people in Texas get shut down for less. Chicken joints and casinos. So what makes you think they're going to let anybody be any type of politician or breadwinner on their watch? We still working.
Okay. So are you do you subscribe to any religion or philosophy, or what is your belief? What do you derive your belief system?
I grew up in a Christian church. So Mount Olive on Hawkins Street in Ypsilanti. Mm-hmm. That was my church from birth all the way up. I got
wait, Hawkins.
That's across
over
Perry
there.
School.
Southside.
Southside.
Go ahead. Hey, he ain't lying, y'all.
Um, um, yeah, what the fuck? I'm trying to. What is this girl? America is being slowly ordered in essence to the middle of the.
Oh, this is my boy Andre. Let me read it. Let me read what he said.
My
America
bad.
is slowly.
It just all flew up because it just loaded up, and I was like, "Oh boy."
See there, Andre, man. Check him out, man. We're gonna have to get him right.
Oh,
America, Andre says, America is being slowly eroded, and since we were in the middle of it, people don't see it. In 10 years, transmission is going to be a norm. Oh, transmission is going to be a norm, like biracial marriages and gays are the norm today. Yeah, real talk.
yeah, I agree. I mean, when have they not been? How old is this guy? Because they've always been there. They've always been there. They've always been there. Now, whether it's public or behind the scenes, they've always been there. You know what I mean? So,
But do you think to this degree though? Now it's almost like it's yes, I agree with you. That's always been around, but now it's like out overtly in your face. Now it's like it's foisted down your throat, like you have to accept it.
okay, when you get a Holly Berry or Puff Daddy's wife, she's like all these half Creole women that have certain type of fathers and stuff like that. These things happen. And then wars happen. A lot of these half and halves that we know of, that and I say the public, they family just made that choice. It's okay to be promiscuous if that's how you are, but this starts in the household. My mom always encouraged me to stay with my culture. She's like, and these are the breaks. There's nothing wrong with teaching your kids to go black first, because every other culture is doing the same thing. Nobody can deny that their parents would rather them marry inside than anywhere else. But it's usually up to the person. So if the person wants to do that, it has to be a strong connection. There's got to be a reason. I want people to go back to that ways, but a lot of people look at just staying within your culture as like a race act. It's only when it's black people though. Because it's okay for like white people to be like, yo, I want my son or my daughter to marry a white guy or something like that. And the same thing with Spanish. I got tons of Spanish friends. Like, I can't even meet some of their grandparents because I'm black. Like, you know what I mean? So
damn,
it's real.
Whoa.
You want that maps to look it up. Okay.
How dare you?
Okay, so
I gotta stop looking at this. I'm about to go back to private chat so I can't even see it because I keep looking over it.
Yeah, you're gonna have the first rule, man, of podcasting: never look at the chat.
Okay.
Never look at the chat. Okay, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Darren. Are you would you consider yourself pro-black?
Yes.
Okay,
Black
so
black.
then let me follow up with this. What is pro-black?
Intelligence, peace, and godliness. So you only have to use 3 things, okay? Because when you're intelligent and stuff like that, it means 100 different things. You want to shoot yourself to your highest potential. You're always trying to figure out something. You're always trying to figure out something way to help your people. And what I mean by that, I mean all melanin people. I don't mean just black people. So when I think about that, I think about Nigerians and Indian people, anybody that has any type of melanin in their skin that I consider my people. I try to help. But the reason I think that I'm pro-black, man, is because of the way that I grew up and what I've seen and how I approach things. I can be pro-black and be approachable. I don't have to be pro-black and be like an extremist. A lot of people, who's our number one pro-black guy? What is it? Dr. Umar? You know what I'm saying? Try, approaching him. He's always on the fence. But I understand why he's always on the fence, because who he is. But I'm pro-black because I'm approachable. I'm going to be the connection between this 1 and 2 to make sure that my people eat.
So Andre, Andre wants me to ask you: are black people exhibiting those three traits that defines pro-black? Are black people exhibiting that today?
I've learned that. Listen, y'all, and this might sound crazy. You can look these statistics up. More people are practicing that than what we see. I know we see thoughts and all of that other stuff, or whatever the case is, and these dudes sagging and thugs and stuff. But bruh, have y'all checked the HBCUs and stuff in the last couple of years? It's just been crazy. Inventions, hundreds of thousands of graduates and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And this is what I would consider pro-black. These dudes and these women are bad at what they do. They're incredible at, handling business. Like, they're in relationships. They do so much for the different type of communities and stuff. Look. Yeah. But I don't
know. I would tend to agree with that, being that there's a very small minority that gets pedestalized and spread across the media to portray an image that black people are what you see negative.
My bad.
However, I will say this, that you don't get much. Well, I mean, I guess in recent years you see some folks doing it, but you don't get much pushback against this degeneracy, this level of degeneracy we see that's corroding Black America. So why is it that we don't see more of a moral outrage against all the degeneracy and all of the
because who our leaders are today? And I say that very lightly, and I'm saying leaders in entertainment, everyone. I'm not talking about leaders, that really are leaders. I'm talking about our leaders in entertainment. The leaders in entertainment are misleading our people. I have and this is a small thing in between. I have a love-hate relationship with the Migos Culture album. You know why? Because I cut hair. And when people come in there, they argue with me about the Migos and that album being part of Black people's culture.
What's the album about? I ain't never heard the album. What's it about?
Drugs, partying, shooting people, gangster shit. Atlanta's culture. If that makes sense. Because there's nothing ignorant about Black people. And I'm not going to say, I'm not going to call them niggas or nothing like that. I'm just going to say that type of situation exists. And these are the people that we looking up to. These are the people that they think are in our culture. Spending all your money on certain type of gold glasses, type of glasses and all of this other craziness and cars. And instead of, doing what these kids at the HBCUs is doing, inventing stuff and just being great. If I put one of those students on like a future video, they'd be like, why is he there? In all reality, he's like probably about to have a breakthrough for the United States that's going to give him billions and trillions of dollars. Nobody would know. But if Future start taking perks, or he's telling you to go take perks, or whatever the case may be, everybody's going to know that. What your friend asked me about people exhibiting it today, the people that we need to do this stuff is not doing it. As much as we hate Jay-Z, as people hate Jay-Z or whatever, the way he hold himself is how we want people to hold themselves. We don't want you to give in to small stuff. We don't want you to give into what people are seeing on the internet. We don't want you to be a public figure like that. We want you to get money and make opportunities.
Let me ask you another question. Has America been good to Black people?
No. Ew.
Okay, explain.
Neil, how many times did you get called a nigga when you was at East by a white kid?
Not once.
Okay. Even
I remember you, Felipe, Catherine, a few other folks. Y'all call me that every day.
Yeah. Oh my God. I apologize for that. Why do Black people look for a leader when other groups look for their father and God?
That's a good question. No. Before we get to that,
what I was talking about. What did you just ask me? Because
we're gonna Andre, we're gonna answer that question as soon as he opine on this question. Has America been good to Black people? in general.
And the reason I'm saying that is because of this. If they really wanted to be good to us and stuff, reparations would have been paid when my grandma was like 32. Start with that. Start with reparations. Start there. Don't help us make a system. Give us literally 5 years to make a system for ourselves and where this money is going to go and how we're going to conduct it, who our leaders are going to be, who you need to speak to. We'll start there. Then we can talk about the equality and jobs and all of this other crazy stuff. You know why we can talk about that? Because it won't even matter after that. It won't matter. But
so
we didn't get any of that type of stuff, and we won't get that type of stuff, and we don't get respect. And we have been, last time I checked, the last 4-5 years, multiple black people have been getting killed by officers. People that's supposed to protect us. So like that is big, even though it's not in, you know, my family members or something like that. That's heartfelt. It's not heartfelt because they black. It's like, yo, this could be me.
So in regards to the reparations, Andre says Democrats, the Jews, the Domini tribe, and the Arabs owe reparations. And I'm just going to speak on to each one of these groups. Mainly the Democrats, because the Democrats sold Black America out under the Lyndon Baines Johnson administration, and essentially kickstarted the whole welfare system.
Yes.
The Jews, Andre, maybe you can elaborate a little bit more on that one. I know the Domini tribe were responsible for the main exportation of slaves, and these were blacks. These were black chieftains.
They said they were helpers in a sense. They were not helpers, but they were what was the word that I read? It was servants. They were not slaves.
Okay, precisely. But the Domini tribe in particular, like these were kings, chieftains. These were people who captured other blacks and sold them to the Arabs around, and the Arabs took them to the Ottoman Empire and things like that. And then Arabs, as I just forementioned. So, with all of that being said, how is it? How were reparations? How is that even feasible, or how can that even be allocated if we can't even delineate who were the quote unquote oppressors?
Yeah. Look, there's oppressing, and then there's history. Okay. If we all are being led by the blind, then we all gonna run right off the same fucking bridge that the blind guy runs off of, correct? But somehow, some way, I think that somebody in this small line of people might just be smart enough to say, this is not fucking right. Right? By the way, once the whole slavery thing flipped over and everybody was freed, it was still people hosting slaves. And guess what? They were not black people. You know what I'm saying?
Well, minor correction. I mean, did you know that 1/3 of New Orleans populations were free blacks that owned other black slaves? And actually, incidentally, were blacks. They were in Louisiana, but there were actually blacks that fought for the Confederacy. Did you know that? So there was a school of thought more so than it was a race issue, because. And only to me, it just seems like it was just a division and a bifurcation in those schools of thought. One believing that men are all created under God, and another group believing that men are to be subjugated. But as history would have it, you see that same sort of pattern being repeated today by a certain select few of people, and I think that we've kind of just sort of lost we took our eye off the ball, and now things have gotten so ambiguous that we just kind of point at the boogeyman as opposed to pointing at those who are actually responsible.
Yeah. Look, Those people that were sold. However, those slaves that were sold, brutally raped, beat, whatever, whoever took care of that party, let's point that dagger at them for reparations. How's that? Because there's really no head to this snake, basically, or is it multiple heads to this snake? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, that and just in general, man. Like I remember, how I grew up. This is surreal. This is police beatings and being out past curfew or something like that. You being looked at a certain type of way. Certain teachers making comments to me, certain hall monitors making comments to me, and this is just me, not speaking on like my friends that got really hurt bad. Friends that's not here. It's just a lot. We would be here for another 2.5 hours, and then I'm kind of.
Hey, Derek. Yeah, no, I got you. Let me ask you this. And Deborah, I'll put up some stats in a second, but
I didn't even see what she said.
She's wanted me to give her some stats on the police killings, but
oh.
given that you've been in that sort of that lifestyle, do you think that probably heightened the risk of these things perpetually happening? Like, do you think that you heighten the risk factor of attracting that static per se? People looking at you funny, people following you, people profiling you, whatever, what have you. Do you think that was a circumstance unique to you because that was an experience unique to you because you were in that lifestyle?
No, obviously it doesn't matter to me because this guy, you remember when Trayvon Martin was profiled? He was dressed exactly the way I used to dress coming back from basketball practice. He had a hoodie on. What an Arizona. Yeah. And he's being profiled. No gun, no knife, no nothing. And that's in Florida. I stay in Michigan. I was in Michigan. I just used that to just a quick clap back because even though I was in that type of lifestyle and I did that type of stuff, right? Why am I getting harassed coming in and out of a middle school or a high school? You know where that hill was behind East Middle as you go up the stairs and stuff?
Yeah. Yep.
They didn't know where you was going or how you was going to Mr. Pizza, going to McDonald's or something like that. They be waiting on you. And then history with your family, is really big in small towns. And I don't think that's just Ipsy. I think that's anywhere. If you get inside of a small town and your father was a troublemaker, your uncle was a troublemaker and stuff like that, it might just roll downhill. We've seen stories about this type of stuff. But I don't think that because I was in that lifestyle, I deserve to get. If I'm on a chrome bike coming home and it's 11:59 and curfew is basically 11 o'clock, I'm coming from my aunt's house. If I'm on my block, okay, pick me up, arrest me, bring me to my crib, let my mom know I was outside. And, this is the consequences. There's the fee. Mm-hmm. There's no reason the ass whooping should be nowhere in between this. I'm not stealing nothing. I'm not shooting at anybody. I'm not vandalizing any property or nothing like that. Nothing. I've had multiple beatings by the Washington County. Multiple. I think that's what kind of conned me or pushed me towards the whole gang lifestyle or whatever the case is, because it was for protection.
Okay. Deborah, I'm gonna read these stats for you real quick. We're gonna shut it down in a hot second there.
Before you answer her stats, why would that matter? Yeah. They're here to protect us. Period. There shouldn't even be a stat. They're here to protect us, not choke us out, not shoot us up in the bed, not do anything of the sort. They're here to protect us. And they're taught how to do their jobs for 9 months before they're hired. And they have to go through an academy.
Well, I just think that there's bad apples in every field, though, right?
They're here.
That doesn't negate the fact that they're human and that there's going to be, there's going to be people who deviate from their duties and their responsibilities. But I definitely don't. I mean, are you saying writ large? Are you saying broadly speaking, police are not a inherent good?
When you talking like 70s, 80s, before we was born, Neil, you didn't see that. You didn't see that type of corruption unless it was doing like some cop stealing some cocaine or something like that. You had the Rodney King situation But more or less, things ran smooth because they thought different. They thought about their futures and money and whatever it may be, mafias and mobs, or I don't know what it may have been, Griselda Blanco or whatever it may have been. But nobody is sitting out here arguing with a whole 16-year-old kid and trying to tase them, and nobody was doing that, man. I think that, you know, in somewhere, somehow, it was just this drastic left turn to where power just became something that everybody had to get their hands on. Whether you was a street person or a wannabe street person, or you was just an average kid that got picked on that wanted to be a cop that ended up being a cop. They're here to protect us, bro. That's just like me saying that's a bad apple in each thing, right? And a dude in the military or something come off the base and do some wild stuff, which we've seen happen, right? But that's the total biggest disgrace that the military would like. Them dudes is somewhere up under a jail because of what they've done. They're here to protect us. You can't talk to me about a percentage that's going on with my people. You can let me fix my people. I can't. And then what am I going to tell you? Is she Caucasian? Is she white?
Who, Deborah?
Yeah, Deborah. Are you Italian? Are you Irish or anything like that? I don't even want to ask you that question because it's like a public thing. But if we're going to get down to percentages or whatever the case is, I'll jump right into the Italian percentages on what they do and how they extract and hurt their people. It's not about that.
Okay. Well, I mean, she asked, so I got to read the stats real quick. And if you want to react, you can. If not, then we just move on real quick. Deborah, so these are the stats. 94% of black victims are killed by other blacks. 6% of black victims are killed by whites. 86% of white victims are killed by whites. Where we at? Oh, and only 4% of black homicide victims are killed by cops. Overall, blacks make up 15% of the population in the largest. Blacks make up 15% of the population in the 75 largest counties in the United States. But blacks were charged 62% of the armed robberies, 57% of the murders, 45% of all of the assaults.
Okay.
And yeah.
Can you look me up a stat now? I want you to look up.
What up, Beans?
I want you to look up the percentage of two-family household for a black kid and a Caucasian.
You said the family household?
Yeah. How many kids have two mom and dad in each household? What's the percentage on those two? And the reason I'm bringing this up.
Well, 70% of black children are born out of wedlock.
Okay,
it's like
cool.
60, 68,
yeah, you know this like the back of your hand.
And then and I think it's like 46% or maybe 50% of white children are born out of wedlock.
So hear me. This is a problem for our people, right? And we've got down to the core. I've got down to the core of what the problem is in the black household. The problem is not getting solved. It's growing. So yes, there is violence between black people, and it's growing crazy. Also, that rate of no fathers, single households, overworked mothers, that's growing as well. That is the issue that we have to fix. But again, that is a problem for my people. The police are here to protect us. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trained to protect us. They're trained to be they're trained in all different types of situations. But yet, they have been making crazy mistakes. Not just one or two, but crazy, unnecessary mistakes.
Do you think that the mere fact that we have now the technology to record these scenarios,
phenomenal,
or do you think this has always been a thing?
Do I think that we had it or what?
No, yeah. Do you think that it has exasperated more over time, or do you think that it's always been to the level that you are saying? It's just now that we have the technology to record these things, these situations, that it's now, like I said, it's being kind of blown out of proportion.
I think news travels a little bit faster now, and that's what makes the stakes a little bit more higher. You know, that's all I could really say about that. Like, it was a long question, yo. And you was
holding. My bad. My bad. Hold on. We got Shorty. What's happening, Shorty? I appreciate you coming. I watched a video of someone who did a paper on cops and blacks. I came from a family of Irish slaves. What about when a cop says stop, would stop killing? What about when a cop says stop, would stop killing? I'm not sure if that was a question, Shorty, but if it was, I apologize. Just sort of rephrase it. Yeah. But I don't know. I just think that I personally think it's been blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
I think it's been blown out of proportion, bro. I really do. Yeah. I just think, I mean, look, we can only go by the numbers. And what I see happening more, I see that we are just constantly moving the goalposts from talking about the real issue, the issue that's going to take more time and grit to actually solve, which is us killing each other. I think we would rather shirk the responsibility off on everyone else when percentages, the numbers are nominal. They're not bearing out to what we're seeing happening within our own communities. We're killing each other at exponential rates. And as you said before, as you even said before, we have projected this, we have pedestalized and projected this sort of false sense of what a black community, or being black for that matter, is what it's all about, when it's not really ultimately what we should have adhered ourselves to. But this has been a long-standing thing, I think. I think blacks, and I'm saying this from the 60s, because prior to 1960s, we had marriages, you know, there weren't single mothers to the level that we see today. There were no such thing as leaders. We didn't adopt leaders. Men were leaders of their own homes. We all had a code of ethics that we adhered to, morals, principles, but all that's gone to the wayside. And now it's just kind of like a free for all. Everybody's just kind of atomized and doing their own thing.
And people don't respect anybody. Like,
I agree.
Man, it may sound like, because me and Deborah got into the little standoff, is that I'm like a anti-cop kind of guy, right? But there's a sheriff in Ipsy that saved me multiple times. You know what I'm saying? And my respect level for authorities is crazy.
Officer Die?
Nope, I'm not telling you his name, because he actually, he did some wild shit after I graduated, and it was bad. I'm like, ugh.
Damn.
So,
black guy though? Black guy, white guy?
He's white guy. He's a white guy.
Wow.
And I'll tell you a story. Like, you remember the skating ring thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
Okay, so like, just keep that in the back of your head. Instead of him taking me to my PO, he came over, knocked on the door, sat in the house, ate breakfast with us. It's like, listen, you gotta turn yourself in. Just finish, this year out, and you gotta turn yourself in. He said, I'm giving you the liberty because I'm telling your dad and all of them, and what we're gonna get a head start on this. But yeah.
Do you think that? And damn, I don't even want to spark a whole new, different conversation from what we're talking about, but I have to ask: do you think there could have been something, or like anything, that could have deterred you from going down that path? Like something someone could have said to you or done to deter you? Looking back, obviously, in retrospect.
It was the ass whoopings, bro. It was the people.
You said it was the ass.
It was the ass whoopings. It was the people that I trusted. A couple of them was at East Middle and stuff like that. There was a lot of stuff that happened to me as a kid that made me into a young man really early. So hate and anger and joining a gang and doing violent stuff was like, it was there. All it took was for somebody else that I trusted to tell me to come join this immaculate thing that everybody's doing. You know what I'm saying? My dad, I think he was they was getting ready to divorce. There was a lot of stuff going on. So I made like a choice.
Yeah.
And I think it was pure off emotion. Did I learn a lot?
I got you.
So
got you. And I frequently say this too on my show. I cannot think of one decision that is made in emotion. I can't think of one emotional decision that is conducive for your life. One decision made in emotion. I'm just butchering this, but I can't think of one decision that's made in emotion that is beneficial.
Yes, you can.
Tell me.
What kind of food do you like?
Oh my God, look at him. Just I like Philly steak hoagies that I'm about to go get right now. It's an emotional decision because I should not be eating that tonight. I should not. I should be going up there using that $70 juicer I just bought, but I'm not. Just bought me a damn Ninja. I'm not even that bad boy still ain't even out the package.
All right, but are you in a relationship though?
Yeah, I'm married.
Okay, you make correct emotional decisions every day.
Tell me, please.
Because you're not a selfish man. You can't be a selfish man being married. So being that you're not selfish or whatever the case is, you living in the same household with this woman, you're thinking about her needs, you're trying to sacrifice something that you got going on to make sure she's okay. And you know why you're doing all of this? It's not well, it could be because of the contract, but more or less it's because you want to emotionally make sure she's okay.
Incorrect.
You don't want her walking around
Incorrect. You tried though. I'll give you a cookie for trying, man. So let me tell you what it is. I do what I do because of duty and commitment. I have duty and commitment.
But you don't love her, right?
Yeah, I love my wife, but it's not an emotional love. It's not. It's not an emotion. It's not. Oh, y'all! Hey, for y'all in the chat, I gotta step my sound bite game up because he think he coming at me hard tonight, y'all. I don't like it.
Stop the cap.
Anyway, yeah, I believe a man should be stoic. A man should practice stoicism and be tempered. And should practice temperance. Should have temperance, and there shouldn't be this element of emotion. And when I say emotion, I mean this sort of.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. What do you consider an emotional decision?
An emotional decision is not a logical decision.
Oh, okay. You got me. See, you didn't tell me all of that.
I just told you.
You didn't say that. You said that emotional. You over there for a minute, then you was like, nah. Okay. And that makes sense.
Well, I'm waiting. Okay, so you try with that example. Give me a decision that can be made based in pure emotion that is beneficial to you. Hold on.
What's the emotional decision again?
Hold on, real quick. An emotional decision is a decision that you make based in pure emotion, based off of your emotional state.
No, that ain't what you said the last time.
You said what?
That's not what you said last time.
It's an emotional decision. I mean, that's basically what it is. That's all I'm asking. It's not a trick question.
Emotional decision is a bad something. You said it's something negative about it. What did you say?
My original question is what is
your original answer that you said 3 minutes ago now?
Oh, I said an emotional decision is not a logical decision.
Okay.
So now tell me, what decision can you make in life that is predicated in emotion that is beneficial to you? I'll wait.
My question is, if it's not a logical decision, how did we even get here, gang? Like, if it's something that's like that, if an emotional decision like that is something to you, and you know it's just like whatever, that I would say that's pure stupidity if you're gonna go with it at that point. Like I don't see the whole point of an emotional decision, if that makes sense. I see the right decision and the wrong one, and to have an emotional one is automatically a wrong one. I'm guessing.
I mean,
there's no reason for. There's not even a pinch of room for any decisions that's irrational or for you to make that's plain out dumb. And that's not even an emotional one, because getting on a roller coaster and stuff like that. What is it? Because it makes you excited to get on.
No, I mean, yeah, the purpose to get on the roller coaster is to enjoy the exhilarating experience of being on a roller coaster, I suppose.
But I don't hopping on there because you don't know what it's about.
I mean, you're logically at the park to enjoy the experience.
Okay,
the theme park.
But what if I've only been to like strawberry festivals and Ferris wheels, so I'm going to Cedar Point today, and I've read about the Magnum, and I'm excited to get on the Magnum today.
Mm-hmm.
Being that they said it goes up 500 feet and it comes straight down. I've never been 500 feet in the air. Fuck it, I'm just gonna do this shit because it said it's the shit. That's like, is that an emotional decision or no?
I think that if you're excited about it, yeah, I mean, somewhat might argue that's emotional. I mean, but if you're curious and you want to explore that curiosity, sure, I would say that.
This is the thing. This is a bad decision because I've only been on Ferris wheels and little twisties. When I get up 500 feet and I see the whole park and I start peeing on myself or whatever.
But it gets subjective. But it gets subjective after a point, though. After you have had the experience and you determine that this was a exhilarating, fulfilling experience, then it was beneficial. Then therefore it wasn't emotional a decision. It was a decision that you calculated that I want to explore my curiosity by getting on this ride to hopefully enjoy an experience, an exhilarating experience, and then possibly get back on it if that's the case. So get them, girl. Hey man, we about to shut it down. We shutting it down, y'all. Look. My man, listen, man. Y'all got to give my man D Nice some love, y'all, for even coming by, man.
I appreciate you guys.
So listen, are you going to start the YouTube as well, or you just stand on Facebook?
No, I'm going to start the YouTube, but I have to practice first. You make sense? Like look at my lighting. Look at my lighting now. I'm actually, you can see it bouncing off my glasses and stuff.
Man, you putting way too much thought into it, man. You solid. You are solid from one podcaster to another. Your performance tonight, just being natural, and you can talk, you can articulate. You're good. You're solid, man. Now look, although you and I may not agree on everything, I think that your perspective is valuable. So you should strongly consider not considering all the little minor frivolous things you thinking about in your mind and just get started ASAP.
Okay.
ASAP. Because it ain't nothing, man. You solid. You got, as long as you got the mic, you got the camera, that's all you need. Then everything else you can build as you fly.
Okay. So listen, I'm like not computer literate like that. I was in the streets. It was so bad. Like I really feel bad because I did not pay attention in middle school, and that's when they turned us and told us that the internet was going to take over, and I didn't believe. I did construction instead, but I'm working on that.
And we got grace for you, brother. We got grace for him. Let's give him some love. We got grace. We all got grace, man.
Yeah,
he's solid.
I will.
Valedictorian of his high school.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you ain't hear that one.
Thank you.
Hold on. I agree. Darren did a wonderful job. Did wonderful and had my attention the whole time. He makes a lot of great points. I told you, man. And Kat, she'll be one of your loyal subscribers. Trust me. Ain't that right, Kat? She would. She'd be the hey. If it's just Cat in the audience, she will. If it's only Cat in the chat, she will be there. I promise.
Yeah, I'm gonna try
But
to read.
I can't even promote your socials really because you ain't even got the YouTube up.
Who, me? Well, I got mad socials though. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
All right, solid.
And you can look me up by my government, which is Darren Morgan, or you can put in D Nice, Royal Lore, all of that fun stuff. You can see, what I do with my life. Stop drinking that. You drinking Colt 45. Colt 45.
Dummy.
Oh man,
Don't gargle with Rogan, you little Hitler, you.
Oh my gosh, y'all don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. I ain't drinking nothing but some tea. Look at this. Look at this. Ain't nothing but tea, y'all. It's like no, they didn't even notice I had a whole different cup. Oh snap! My wife, she just texted me. I'm hungry. Okay. Anyway, so look, y'all can find Darren, aka D Nice, on Facebook, right? You said go ahead and promote everything, man. Again,
is your wife nice to you? Because I remember the last time I seen you, and your girlfriend was so mean to you.
Which one?
I didn't want to say her name because I was gonna have one of my homegirls do something to her. She was so mean to you.
Oh no. We'll talk about that in the back chat. You talking about somebody else. Yeah, that's somebody else. That's a whole different lifetime.
Yeah.
No.
My name is Darren Morgan. My friends call me D Nice. You can find me on Facebook at Royal Allure. Instagram is Royal Allure as well. I also have a personal page, D Nice. You can find all of my social media by just typing in my first and last name, Darren Morgan. Not hard to find. I'm a small public figure, not a big one yet. I ain't like,
He humble, y'all.
The real unwoke.
Oh yeah, the real unwoke, y'all. Y'all already know you just been unwoked. That's how we do. Unplugged from the woke matrix. But listen, I did want to say this, man. I'm gonna be in New York, literally in July. Are you gonna be out there then?
Yes.
All right.
I'm actually gonna be throwing something around that time.
I'm gonna be out there from the 30th through the 8th. The 30th of June through the 8th.
Good.
Is that right? Around the time you're gonna be okay.
Yeah. So
and I'm gonna need a cut for the low.
Yeah, you can listen.
Hey, look, man, you gonna be able to handle this? Look,
you still got waves. Let me see what you got. You got braids?
Leave me alone. All right, leave me alone. I ain't tighten up in a minute neither.
You ain't got no waves no more. I took that Scully off like.
Listen, man, you can attest. You are literally the last person out there that I know that can attest of what the waves look like back in the day for me. They used to call me Dookie.
Crazy.
Felipe used to call me Dookie. Crazy. Thought I used to have a damn. They thought I put perm in my hair, y'all. Can y'all believe that? They thought I used the Duke perm. Like what? I'm not using no perm.
Nah. We don't use perms around here.
We don't use perms around here. We talking about blue magic.
I was just about to say that. Oh my god, I want to say blue and black magic, I swear.
Blue magic in the wave brush and the do-rags.
I put so much blue magic on my head. I put the damn near on my forehead.
Hey, you ain't man, I hate my mic. You ain't sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna change out this cord. I'm gonna change out this cord one day. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Have a good night. I appreciate you for joining. I appreciate every last one of y'all in the chat. Andre, Cat, Queen, Shorty.
Have a great night.
Andrew.
Thanks for your intake, but no hard feelings. I love everybody.
It's all love. It's all love. My chat, they treat my guests with the utmost respect. So Darren, we gotta have you back on, man. So
anytime, you know what? When you come out, we can probably shoot some of the Tuesdays things. It's like some Greek festivals and stuff like that. So
I'm gonna need you to show me around, man. Listen, my aunt told me to get a Airbnb or a hotel in Trenton because it's probably the safest place to be. You agree?
It's an Airbnb right attached to my barbershop.
I mean, can it hold 4 people? Me, my wife, and my kids? Is it nice?
Yes.
Is it cheap?
And it's on Syracuse University, so it's not in the hood. It's right in the middle of this college campus.
Is it cheap? How much we talking a night? That's the question.
I can double check because it goes up by
oh yeah,
volume.
Yeah, of course.
So what I would tell you to do is whenever you get ready to come, just book it early on. I would try to book before July because if you book before July, then you'll be fine.
Price gonna skyrocket. Okay, last question about New York. I was thinking about driving out there, bro, and just parking the car at the Airbnb. Should I do that?
You're fine where I'm at. I'm in think about Ypsilanti, Detroit. Mm-hmm. I'm 4 hours away from the city, so I'm in the country part. But it's a small city, central New York, upstate is where the college and all of that fun stuff is at. So you'll be fine driving. It's not going to be crazy traffic or nothing like that. We have 5 o'clock traffic like anybody else and traffic jams like that, but you're not going to have a problem getting from point A to point B. It's more beneficial to have a car when you come out here than it is going. Now, when we go to the city, we literally will have to, save up for parking. So me, you, and whoever's going, we'll save up for some parking, put our car up, and then from there we taking scooters and walking.
Oh, okay. And I've been out there in the winter, man. I went to Central Park. I went to Ground Zero. Oh man, my wife blowing me up. Okay. All right, man. We're gonna shut it down. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for coming. I'm sorry, I got a hangry wife upstairs. Darren, hold off on the back chat, man. For a second. Guys, we're gonna probably be back here Thursday, with another one, if God willing. But I appreciate every last one of you guys for coming on. And it's been another episode of The Real Unwoke. Catch you guys.